What are some of my favorite high school curriculums? This is a question I get asked. So me and my 150 pounds of books are here to answer that question. Who am I? I'm Jacqueline. This is Homeschool Hangout.xyz, and I am a veteran homeschooler of about 18 years who is here to help you homeschool with peace, clarity, and helping to swim the waters of California education. If you like these videos, do me a favor, thumbs up, like, subscribe, all the things, and let's get into it. Okay, so this is, hold on a second, this is actually part of a collab, and I need to make sure I get the name right. And it is hosted by CJ in Homeschooling Through High School. And there are going to be lots of people who are participating. There will be a link down below when this video is over, not now. Head on over and check those out. And let's get into it. Okay, seriously, heavy books. Okay, so I have 3 different things here. One is the curriculum we didn't know we needed. One is my children's favorite curriculum of high school. And the third one is my favorite curriculum. Okay, so the one I didn't know we needed that was so cool. And this isn't technically high school. It can be anything. It's A Pirate's Guide to the Grammar of the Story. Your kids, they're going to learn how to write. There's writers in residence. There's lots of things like that from Rebecca. Loved it. But this really helped them think about it in a different way. So, let's see. Make characterizations specific. Do you remember our lesson at the beginning about being specific? Characterizations, like all things in a story, are something you should strive to be as specific as possible with. And it talks about being specific, like goes to school, is a student, spends 6 hours a day on homework, different things like that. Is 35. Yes, it seems random, but a strong man in a sheriff's hat. Come up with your physical traits, character details, character activities, character personality, skills and experience, relationships, clothing style, character voice. These are all things that are not calculus. They're not unthinkable, but they're things I know I don't always think about. And I thought this was a great little find. This is written by Yager Lafasa. Loved it. So that's the one I didn't know we needed. Yeah, my kids did creative writing, but I didn't think they needed like a curriculum in it. Sorry, I don't know why I'm so out of breath. My asthma has been killing me. Okay, the next one is some of my children's favorite. And it is American Literature by Apologia. This isn't cheap, I'll tell you that. The Apologia books were kind of expensive. It was given to me to review years and years ago, like 10 years ago. Yeah, love them. So, why do I love them? Yes, they come with this workbook. Nobody was allowed to write in it. This has been through 4 children. And let me show you the other book. It has a textbook. And I know what you're saying. Jackie, you hate textbooks, especially in literature. Not this one. This one had little write-ups on things, but it actually went through and you check out the books from the library, you read them, and they talk about the authors. They talk about what's going on. The Age of Reason Revolution. Questions on Wheatley's A Hymn to the Evening. What lessons the speaker are deriving for us from the beauty of the setting sun. So, and the other part is the questions are also in this book. I don't know that you need the workbook, but it does give you more questions and more things. This gave my kids, I took American Lit in high school, in a public school. This gave my children a phenomenal survey of American literature. They read so much more than I read. They did poetry, they did everything, and it went very naturally through. My 21-year-old said she really liked it because it gave her a great footing to read more, to read less, all of it. Really, really loved this. And it's very hands-off for a parent, which is kind of nice for high school. It gives them a little bit of space, but they can come to you if they have any questions, if they didn't understand something, all of that. The other thing is most of these are pretty innocent pieces. You might have a couple. I mean, Mark Twain's on the front. I do remember in homeschooling having to tell my children, these are words you're not allowed to say. They're mean and they're hurtful and they were written at the time. But there's not even a lot of that in these pieces. Like I said, let me look at the table of contents for you. So we're going to start with faith and courage, early American views. So, you start with the Cherokee, which I personally am a little biased to. And then get into, the Mayflower Compact. And some of those shorter pieces are included in the book. Then we get into love, piety, and snobbery. Love the fact they just call it what it is. And these were interesting authors to me because they weren't always the standard ones. Anne Bradstreet I was not familiar with. Then we get into the Age of Reason or Revolution. Of course, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Phyllis Wheatley, which I have read that. Forging a New Nation, where you get John and Abigail Adams, their letters back and forth, Patrick Henry, and it keeps going through, and we get into the Age of Realism, so you're going to deal with Emily Dickinson and Walt Whitman and Mark Twain. Let's see, the Modern Age, you're going to deal with a little Carl Sandburg, a little T.S. Eliot, some John Steinbeck, California kid here, John Steinbeck, James Thurber, William Faulkner, Ernest Hemingway, Eudora Welty, Robert Frost. Oliver Wendell Holmes is covered, which that's a whole nother discussion for me, and Oliver Wendell Holmes. Of course, they do read To Kill a Mockingbird. You got to love that. But a lot of poetry, and I like that because those are great snapshots too. You get into your Poe, and you read Annabel Lee and The Raven and The Cask of I'm Gonna Kill It, Amontillado, and The Purloined Letter. You're going to get into Nathaniel Hawthorne. So it is a really good, I feel, overview on American literature. I think it matches up with anything I've seen in any course, and it is way better than mine. I mean, you can always augment with more. I don't know that they read any Arthur Miller. I'm trying to remember. They didn't do The Scarlet Letter. A couple things like that I know are huge in mine. But I think it's a really good, and you can always add extra things for them to read. So that is some of my children's favorite high school. Now onto mine. Now, I'll be honest, we only used one book out of this series. It was given to me, but it covered all of their high school math, basically. And to confess, my kids are math nerds like their mommy, and they didn't really do it all in high school. So it is BJU Press, Algebra II. This book looks pretty good for 4 kids, right? I'll be honest, I think most of my kids took 2 years on this thing. Partially because they were dealing with their own personal responsibility, and partially because it is meaty. And what do I mean by that? 3 out of the 4 children went on to go take college classes. And they all agree they did not learn a single new concept in college trigonometry or college pre-calculus. They got better at it, don't get me wrong, but everything was covered in this Algebra II book. Now, if you're not a giant math dork like me, don't worry about it because we made them do all of it. But they actually give different learning paths, and if you want to go normal, these are the problems you do. You don't do every single problem. We did. Sorry. The workbook itself. Now, they also have this available online with a teacher and some video lessons. So if you need that, they have that available too. This is like their chapter review, very readable, very approachable. This is still not why I love it so much, though. I really like how they explain things very logically. Old math tutor here. Matrices and transformations. Now, don't get me wrong, I hated Algebra II with a deep and abiding passion. I liked calculus. I liked geometry. I hated algebras. But they do a great thing, and the following matrix equations can be used to translate triangle XYZ's 3 units left and 1 up. And it goes through and gives really detailed explanations, really great examples. But that's fine. That's still not why I love this. I'm old. I'm an old lady. Did I mention I've been homeschooling for 18 years? I'm old. I'm honest. the reason I love this, they're hooked together, hold on a second, is the teacher's manuals. This is gold. Why is it gold? You're going, Jackie, it's just the answers. Why would you be that excited about it? It's more than that. It's more than that. It's so much more than that. They literally show you what they see in the book, and then they go through and talk to you about how to teach it. All this is lesson planning and lesson teaching. It gets better though. And then they say here, like, so I'm going to say, if you're doing the minimum, this is 1.8, objective 1.8. Do 2 to 10 even, 11 to 25 odd, 29, 31, 34, 43 to 51 odd. If you're doing the standard course, do 1, 4, 7, 10 through 28 even, 31 through 39 odd, 43 to 51 odd. Extended, 10, 14, 18, 21 to 25, 28 to 30, 32 to 34, 36 to 40, 42, 43 to 51 odd. So they walk you through. But the sweet, sweet gold, the sweet, sweet nectar of this process will be made clear to you now. They give you the answers. They give you the wording on how to teach it. They give you lots of examples. But then we get to the actual answer keyboard. I don't know if you can see this, so I'm going to come up close to you. So sorry. You see this? This is not just the problem, the answer, but every step you're going to need. If you're like me, I don't remember all the minutia of Algebra II. I don't remember every trick to figure out a problem. I don't remember all of those details. And frankly, like when my first two kids started this, I had 4 little kids. I mean, I think my oldest was probably a freshman or a sophomore, and his sister was doing it with him, and she was in junior high. I had a lot going on. I couldn't spend hours reteaching myself Algebra II. I didn't want to, frankly. But they have the breakdown. So, for example, the absolute value of 2x plus 5 minus 3x equals 27. And it goes through going, okay, so that's this one here. You're going to move one thing over first, then you're going to do this, then you're going to do that, then you're going to get to the answer. It has that for every problem. When you get to graphing, graphing. Yeah, I said it. There they are. Gotta love it. How to graph radical functions. Ew. Where you get your domain, your range, and the graph. I've used a lot of teacher's keys. I've used teacher's keys to grade as a student grader. I've used teacher's keys as a tutor. I've used teacher's keys as a parent. This is the most detailed one I've ever used. Then if you go, so they don't get this concept, it got built on another one. They have a grade index. They have a grade index where they're specific. Did you need the law of cosines? Did you need the law of sines? Well, here's the page you can go read it on. Now, they are so detailed. This is the textbook. Let me show you the teacher's keys for both of them. Yes, 2 teacher's keys for that. There is a CD in the back that has more tools on it that you can use. If you're like, you know what, this problem doesn't seem right, and let's be clear, there are typos in every book I've ever touched. You go to their website and they're like, here's everything that we've messed up in the correct answers. Yeah. Is it clear why this is my favorite? Now, I have not used any other of their math curriculum, but I'm going to assume that they do as awesome a job with all the rest of them as they did with this. Now, like I said, this has been sent to me to review like a decade ago. So I'm under no obligation to say anything about any of these books. This is all my opinion. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend BJU Press. Like I said, they do have some videos and some live teaching you can go through if you don't want to just do this. I will be honest, my husband and I spent a lot of time grading. Because part of it is because we made them do everything. But we knew they were going into STEM and would have to take 2 semesters of calculus too. So for us, we had that other side. But we loved this. And we are also the parents who don't let you check your answers in the back. because I believe the odd answers are in the back for this one, like most math books in the world. Yep, they are with the breakdown. But yeah, love it, love it, love it. Love this American Lit. So good. And the fun one you didn't know you needed. A Pirate's Guide to the Grammar of the Story. Those are my thoughts. Make sure you check out the other people in the collaboration. The links will be down below. And let me know, what is something you are still looking for a good curriculum for? Maybe I know. And because I have other curriculums I love. These are just my top of mind ones. Let me know. What is your favorite curriculum for any age? I want to know. I want to know. And I will go check it out. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.